what's shaking, RB? I forgot your initials for a minute there, so I was trying to be funny, but then...
It's so funny when you say that. It's so out of place.
Yeah, it just isn't the same. It's just not the same, is it? All right. Well, anyway, hey, okay, what is shaking for you right now?
Oh my gosh, it is the longest story in the world, and it has to do with business reopening and all the caveats of dealing with, government and bylaw and all that sort of stuff. It's a huge process and frustrating.
But you're still smiling.
Yeah, of course. It's sunny outside.
You do everything with joy.
I do. Everything is joyous. Then you can separate what you don't like to do and what you like to do them all joyously. So that is where true genius comes to fruition, and you're eliminated of your bondage of like and dislike.
Okay, well that was deep. Maybe that's enough for today. Have a good day. Ready? Count down. No kidding. All right. So one of the things that I keep hearing a lot from franchisors is that they're dealing with staff that, especially, well, there's two things. One is they've got staff, whether that's at their home office or they're helping their franchisees deal with their staff in some way, that are either afraid right now to go back to work with the reopening, or they are being complacent and lazy because they're being paid anyway by the government, and they're like, why would I go back to work? And so this came up on the roundtable today, as you know, and I thought it might be good to share this with our huge audience that listens and waits eagerly every week for the Coté and Rob Rants to come out. So, I mean, it wouldn't be fair not to, right?
Right.
So what we talked about was that if they're fearful, one of the ways to deal with that is to help them see what measures are being put into place to prevent the spread of the virus and all that. And maybe even one of the suggestions was get an endorsement from the mayor that you can show, or like some other local authority that you can show the staff, like somebody else with authority is saying this. So that's how to deal with the people with the fear. But the people that are like complacent and lazy, let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, it all has to, in my opinion, it all has to do with culture, but not like, let's talk about the cliche culture subjects and making it fun and open and honest and all that sort of stuff.
Hung and beer Fridays.
Yeah, sleeping pods. But what I'm talking about is the culture that you instill in people's mindset when they're there as employees, even before any type of crisis or pandemic, and how you ensure that they kind of have buy-in to work and do what you're doing. Yep. Question answered.
I.e., if anybody's listening and it's too late, it's not too late. If you're dealing with this problem, you can start now when you bring in new people.
Yeah. So what I always love to talk about is this fantastic author named Daniel Pink. Okay. He writes a ton of fantastic books, A Whole New Mind, all this sort of stuff. But the one that's specific here is called Drive. And it's the subtext is the surprising truth about what motivates us. And he's distilled down 3 things that motivate people.
I like when people distill things.
Like water. So he has basically said that if you remove wage from the equation, or salary, because people need to make money, they need to afford to pay for, the rent in their car and whatever. But if you've removed that from the equation, what are the 3 things that drive people at your place of work? Any thoughts on what they might be?
Yeah. Well, I might, but I even kind of wanted to just say that when I had my stores, my M&M Meat Shop stores, our staff were paid pretty much entry level. Like, our business model required us to pay pretty low wages, minimum wage. And we expected them to be really good with people and customer service. They were selling, but also they have to go work in a minus 20 degree freezer. And whether that's in US dollars or Canadian, minus 20 is definitely cold. And so they how do you motivate people to work hard and want to be there despite those conditions? Because they could go get a job at Old Navy and get like a 20% discount or whatever on clothing, yet they chose to work with us. So I won't give away my secrets right now. I'll let you talk about what David Pink's talks about.
Daniel Pink.
Oh, Daniel Pink.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really what it comes down to is knowing how to motivate people apart from, like you said, wages and security and that sort of thing. So yeah, what are the three things? I'm just dying to hear.
Just dying to know. Okay, in no particular order. The first one is autonomy. So I know that's very obvious. Yeah, okay, let them be autonomous, but it kind of focuses a bit around micromanaging. Nobody likes to be micromanaged. If you give them the opportunity to get the job done, you say, listen, I need this project done. It's got to be done by the end of the month. Manage your time how you see fit. If it's done, I'm happy. It's the first one.
Yeah. And that's going to have different implications for different types of businesses with what kind of autonomy you can give, but what within that, what kind of support you can give for people to be autonomous. But absolutely, we had lots of that in play with my business, where we would have the staff were empowered to make decisions on how to make the customer happy. If they wanted a refund or anything like that, we would never reprimand them for what they did, but rather have a conversation with them after, like the staff, if they think it could have been done different. But it was like we gave them that autonomy and we let them learn through trying.
Sure. Okay.
Autonomy.
The second one is mastery. So the ability for them to master their craft. So for example, if you run like a coding or development or film studio or whatever, and you have some people that are kind of bottom of the barrel, just doing basic coding, there's nothing that should preclude them from being able to move towards becoming a master and doing the high advanced coding. We say, listen, you want to take courses, you want to go to school, you want to sign up for something on the internet and become a master of this craft, we'll pay for it. We encourage you to become smarter and become better. We want to contribute to that so that you can become a master at what you're passionate about, because ultimately, in theory, you're here because you're passionate about it. It's so funny.
I'm trying to keep a straight face, but you said people that are at the bottom of the barrel.
Well, okay. I mean, I didn't mean it. Entry level.
I'm bottom feeders.
I'm one of those monkeys in the bottom of the barrel.
There you go. Okay, and then the third thing. So we got the autonomy, mastery, and what's the third thing? Drum roll.
It's purpose, right?
Perfect.
And so this kind of clicks into the big picture thinking, right? What you're doing has a purpose, whether it's a direct purpose. I'm working on a project that's significantly going to change the future of this company, or maybe I'm just a cog in a big wheel that's important so that this big wheel can churn out the results that it needs to. They've got to be big picture thinkers, bought into the mission and all that sort of stuff, so that they understand that they do have purpose. So those are the three things: autonomy, mastery, and purpose.
Yeah, and I think you could use those things even if you've got employees right now who are disengaged and are being complacent because of being able to receive a wage from the government or whatever, where you could try to lure them back with those, if you come back, we want to help you grow, develop, whatever. We want to, help them see the purpose of their job, right? And then also the autonomy that you're getting. I think you can still factor that in. I think there's ways. And did you notice that if you, in the order you put it, amp, we're going to amp up the culture. AMP.
What?
I know. I just thought about it.
High five. The highest of fives to you.
There you go. Or there's always a self high five.
Self high five.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, there we go. So there you go. Answer to all your questions about how to get employees engaged, even though they're being paid. I mean, yeah, there's obviously more to it, but that was a good little kind of way to start thinking about this.
Yeah, we could dig into this for hours, right? There's so much that you can put out there about staffing, hiring, firing, keeping them engaged, keeping them moving forward and not just stagnant and apathetic. Maybe you want them to be apathetic if maybe that's the sort of business you're in, and the strategies to do that. I mean, this could be endless. We need to rethink the length of these rants.
I'm sure people would love if we would rant for like 3 hours straight. We wouldn't lose anybody then. I think one last point is that if people are struggling with getting their staff to come back or to because of disengagement versus the fear, maybe it's a red flag that you need to work on your culture. So take that as a blessing that's showing you that, and that, hey, we need to step this up on how we build culture in our company. So
yeah,
cool. You ready for the countdown?
Let's wrap it up.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Go be awesome.